Hanaina ora everyone, my name is Bins, and I welcome you to the 41st video in the tutorial series on the Ælis language. Do you like the new intro for my videos? It depicts the Ælis flag. Because I think I've never shown it to you before, I thought it would be nice to talk about it for a bit. I won't be trying to shove difficult grammar theory into your heads today, so just enjoy this simple and smooth few minutes in which I'll talk to you about the flag and the visual symbols of the Ælis language for a bit. The Ælis flag has a width-to-height ratio of 3:2. It has a diagonal line splitting the flag into two equal parts, the bottom of which being of plain teal color, and the top one being divided into 5 equally wide vertical bands. The band's colors run from black on the left, over linear gradients of gray, to fully white on the right. The rightmost band contains an emblematic symbol that is shaped like an upside-down letter V. It is of the same teal color as the bottom left half of the flag. The shape of the symbol spans an isosceles triangle, and its height is a quarter of the total flag height. It sits at 1/8 of the flag height measured from the top. Horizontally, the symbol is centered within the band, and it is 3/5 of the band wide. This means that it is spaced at 1/5 of the band on either side. The negative space in the symbol corresponds to another isosceles triangle of exactly the same size, but lower to half of the height of the other one, meaning that the topmost part of the cutout is exactly at a quarter of the flag height, measured from the top. Despite the flag's simplicity in terms of its design, the flag does contain various symbols that reference the language itself. The symbol on the white band is the emblem of the Ælis language. It is the symbol of the first Liska, Æ. Not only is this in itself symbolic for the Liska system as a whole, but it is also a signature sound of the language, uncommon in other languages as a single phoneme, while abundant in Ælis, but it is obviously also the first sound of the language's name. The character and symbol also refer to the number 1, which in itself is intended to represent wholesomeness, unity, harmony, or peace. This is ultimately also what the word Ælis means. The next piece of symbolism to be found is in the number of bands. There are 5 bands, and this number is not arbitrary. The colors of the bands aren't either. The 5 bands, in combination with the diagonal separation of the flag and the gradients from black to white, are a reference to the qualifier system of the language, which is also a pretty fundamental feature of Ælis. The colors, the bands, and the diagonal separation are a representation of the scales of the qualifier system: ara, aira, era, ira, and ora. Finally, the teal color also carries its symbolism. In terms of hue, the teal color is exactly in the middle of the color spectrum. Additionally, in terms of a red, green, blue color analysis, the green and blue colors both have a value of 128, which is the dead center between 0 and the maximum value of 256. This color, being located in the middle of a range of potential values in 2 color-defining aspects, is a representation of Ælis' aim to be a language amidst, among, or between the people, that as an auxiliary language intends to build bridges between people and serve as a common ground between them. Apart from the flag itself, the Ælis language can also be represented by horizontal or vertical ribbons that carry similar symbolism. These ribbons both have 5 bands, being of a teal color followed by white and again linear gradients to black. Optionally, these ribbons may also have the Ælis emblem in the middle. If so, the emblem sits on a white circle located in the middle of the ribbon with a diameter of the full width or height of the ribbon, depending on its horizontal or vertical orientation. The emblem itself will be 3/5 of the circle diameter high and will be centered both horizontally and vertically within this circle. Otherwise, the emblem will have the same shape and proportions as it does on the flag. The qualifier system is again represented by the 5 bands. However, note that since we now have 5 bands, of which only 4 grayscale ones, the gradients of gray are not the same in the ribbons as they are on the flag. The Ælis language can be represented with any of these symbols, or even just parts of it. For example, the Ælis emblem by itself, or use of the specific color palette by itself. Should the flag one day be flown in real life, it should be hoisted and flown sinister rather than dexter, meaning that the right-hand side white band with the emblem flies hoist side. This is to ensure that the emblem remains the most visible part of the flag when it's waving in the wind. And that's that. A short video explaining all you need to know about the Ælis flag, its ribbons, ways to visually represent the language, as well as the symbolism behind it all. I hope you enjoyed and would gladly welcome you again next time. Bye!